Welcome to Wanna Bet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now.
So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Så tycker som känner konstapapper kan så felina. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben.
Let's get it started. Super Bowl Sunday, the first ever Super Bowl Sunday edition of Wanna Bet. I'm Jason. That's Ben. That's our janky 1 minute 36 clock. That's really not even 96 seconds. We are fired up for the final NFL game of the year. Obviously, this is the biggest betting day on the U.S. sports calendar by far. I'm sure there'll be a lot of money wagered on the World Cup coming up in a couple months, and we'll be all over that. And Champions League, I'm sure does well, Champions League final. But obviously, this is the granddaddy of them all. It's a matchup that nobody really saw coming in August, but one that's looked increasingly likely as the season went on, and here we go. Here it is. We, however, don't do this show in a vacuum. We acknowledge what we've done since we launched on May 21st with our friend Katie Mox on our first show. We acknowledge what we've done last night. And look, yesterday sucked. Yesterday absolutely sucked for me. Another one where the Discord, Ben, I got Louisville at 7.5. They won by 8. That's the third time in 10 days that the number I got, I could not give out on this show, and it lost on the basically on the hook. In this case, a little less than the hook or more, whatever. Louisville got that lead up to 15 late. They end up only winning by 8. We did hit the money line parlay. Really, what killed me yesterday was soccer, though. A handball that should have been awarded in the Stuttgart match, and then another one that was awarded to St. Pauli when a defender with no pressure on him, nowhere near conceding a own goal himself, had a bad touch. The ball bounced up, hit his arm. I don't even think it was in the box. And that's somehow a penalty. But there wasn't one awarded earlier in the game when a St. Pauli defender had his arm outstretched in the box and literally made contact with a ball on the way to the goal. I give up. And Fulham, if you watch that match, the Cottagers should have been up at least 3-0 at the half. They hit the crossbar twice. They hit the post. Chance after chance after chance. I knew when we were only up 1-0 at the half that was, I thought it would be a 1-1 draw with Everton. Turns out Everton won the match. Undav, head ball, headed into the goal, beats the keeper, hits the post in the 24th minute. We don't get the Undav anytime goal, or we don't get the Undav first goal. That also effed us in Stuttgart money line, which would have won the parlay that the other two legs hit. It sucked. Beltway Ben, the floor is yours. Great call on Kakalaka beating Duke.
Yeah, I like them outright. I said it on here. I said I wouldn't be surprised if they win this game outright. They did, so I was happy to cash that one. Also, for people looking for the records, like they're posted in the regular show, but it looks ugly. And if I ever forget, because yesterday we did have someone remind me, if I ever forget, because I always post it live, but if I ever forget to post it on the regular post, just comment where's the record, and I'll have it up there immediately. And then Jason, for anybody looking for Jason's soccer stuff, I forgot to add it. I forgot there was soccer yesterday. That is on me. It will be in there. But yeah, it was a good day. Akron, Troy, I thought would be a faster paced game, and I thought maybe with it being an 8 to 10 point game late in that one, we'd get some fouls. Akron surrendered. That's unfortunate, but sometimes those things happen. Michigan State, I said it's a field play. I said there's not a lot of numbers that really point to it, but it was just a field play. And Michigan State comes out on top. Great basketball game. I like that. Carolina, I really, really hope you guys played them on the money line. I think that I did. I was out watching it. That was a super exciting basketball game. North Carolina was leading that game for 4 seconds or 0.4 seconds and was able to win it. So that was a super exciting one to cash. We cashed an NBA parlay. Kevin Durant knocking down 2 free throws with 2.7 seconds left to win us that parlay. That was exciting. And then, we finished up, almost 2 units. So lost a few, but it was still a good day. Michael Porter Jr. gives us a spectacular night if he grabs 4 boards in the second half. I mean, you get 6 early, and I feel amazing. I'm like, there it is. And then the fact that it was a blowout, but he had to come back in because they got it close, and he played regular second half minutes and still couldn't get us there. Usually in the NBA, if you get the luck of a blowout turning into a game, you'll at least benefit from a dude getting what he needs to, but he just did. He just did.
Yeah.
And I also tailed you on Louisville, which, again, makes some damn free throws and we win. Whatever.
Yeah, no, that should have been. They should have still covered and won by double digits. But yeah, it is what it is. Ben, I'm going to go a little out of order here because this match is kicking off in 15 minutes now. So I'm going to just give out that Bayern right here. I'll just do a little double first down. Look, this match is kicking off at 11:30 Eastern time. We like over 3.5 goals in Bayern Munich hosting the Hoffenheim. 2 best teams in the Prem right now. That game to produce at least 4 goals. Harry Kane to score at least one of them, and Michael Olise to have a goal or an assist plus 170. Hoffenheim matches on the road average 3.9 goals per game. They've scored 19 times in 10 road matches. That is in the top half of Die Bundesliga. Bayern have been conceding lately. Bayern haven't been great even at home, but Bayern do average 4 goals per game in the Alliance Arena. Bayern matches average 5 goals per game in the Alliance Arena, and Hoffenheim's in great form. They score all over. They get goals from their strikers. They get goals from midfield. They even get head balls from their center backs off set pieces. We think this has an opportunity to get wild. So that's a little 3-leg parlay plus 170 at the Bet 365. Also in first down, let's get to the Super Bowl. It's all Super Bowl for me from here on out. Nothing fancy here. Patriots to have the most turnovers, Beltway, Ben, minus 130, juiced a little bit. We played it at DraftKings. Drake May's been a turnover machine. Drake May doesn't have a left tackle. Drake May is doing something nobody's done since Dan Marino playing the Super Bowl at age 22. He's facing the best defense, arguably, in the NFL, and one of the best tacticians with 2 weeks to scheme it up for him. He's also got a bit of a bum shoulder. We've seen New England's running backs put the ball on the ground quite a bit. And yeah, Sam Darnold can be a double agent. I get it. He hasn't been so much lately. And I don't know, like, will he go over his pass attempts? Maybe. But I don't think you're going to see crazy volume out of Big Sam. So I just, pretty simple. I'm going to take the superior takeaway team, the superior defense, the superior defensive coordinator against a 22-year-old quarterback.
First down, we will also go to the Super Bowl. Everything I have is the Super Bowl. Today, I didn't dive into much NBA. The NBA is starting to get a little fluky. We got until Thursday for the All-Star break. Listen, the NBA is a different league. I'll be on it a little bit during the week, but I won't be on it much today. Here, though, we're going to play Drake May over 30.5 passing attempts at minus 109. I like this a lot here because I've talked about it throughout the week. Jason and I have talked about it. Really, the public has. And I don't love being on the side of the public, but I don't care. I think Seattle wins this game, and I think they do so handily. You're not handing the ball to Ramondre Stevenson or seeing what Travion Henderson can do in the third quarter down 2 scores. Drake May's going to have to throw the damn football. And it's hard to take losses and games that they play from behind for them because that hasn't been the case much, right? Like, there's only a few sample sizes. Now, the 3 losses they have, he cleared this in 2 of those. And you also go back to the Ravens game where they were on the ropes down the stretch. He threw the ball 44 times. Now, Seahawks and the Ravens defense, 2 completely, it was a career day against the Ravens. But the point being, they were playing from behind. They needed to throw the football. And the Ravens defense, for what it was, they were pretty damn good fine against the run. And I think Seattle is one of the better run defenses we've seen in the NFL. I don't think they're going to be able to sit on the run and just kind of go that way. You're going to have to throw the football here. 30.5 is a number I love because in the fourth quarter, if we're like not in a good spot, I think he could chuck the ball across the field down 2 touchdowns, and you're not punting on 4th down. Maybe you're going for it, which I'll get to a little bit later. Jason brought up a good play yesterday that I forgot. I didn't tail, so I'm just going to give it out. But I think they're going to be throwing the ball on 4th down in the fourth quarter, and if that's the case, we should be able to get him here over the passing attempts. So Drake May over 30.5 passing attempts at minus 109.
Excellent. Second down for me. I don't do a lot of these markets, but this one appealed to me. Head to head.
I thought you could go 4th and weird. I thought you might go 4th and weird with this one. When I saw you sent
I know, but I've got some other weird ones, so I figured that I put it in second down because I've got some other ones that I think are pretty weird. I trust me, slotting them. But Barner versus Henry, most yards. Barner plus 167. Look, this was as high as plus 200 a couple days ago. FanDuel still was the best I could find it at plus 167. Fanatics was priced close, though. So if you haven't played it yet, price it out a little bit. Again, I jumped it on the FanDuel a couple days ago. Everybody and their mom's on Henry. I mean, everybody thinks Henry, and I get it. We've talked about it on this show all year long. Tight ends against McDonald, yada, yada, yada. But, Darnold's a big play guy. Darnold led the league in air yards per attempt. I think Darnold's healthier than May right now. And you're giving me almost 2-1. Barner's a guy, he's force-fed at times. Barner's a guy who was there's games where it's been a tunnel, 10 or more targets to him, 10 or more targets to Smith and Jigba. I don't know, man. I think this Barner could catch a 40-yard pass and a 10-yard pass, and I don't know that Henry's going to do what everybody's telling me Henry's going to do. So it's a bit of a contrarian play. It's somebody Darnold is comfortable throwing to. And I also don't know that New England's defense is going to be quite as disruptive off the edge as it probably needs to be. So I like Barner to have more yards than Henry. Doesn't mean Henry can't have a day. Doesn't mean Henry can't clear some of his numbers. But for this kind of a payoff, I just, man, the Henry stuff, I'm sick of hearing it after 2 weeks.
Yeah, I gave you some more of that 2 days ago. I think I gave you more Henry stuff. But no, real quick on Barner, I knew when I saw you were giving this out, I had it as a play, but I just decided to say it. Barner for 25 plus receiving yards is minus 110. You can mark that down as an official play for me. We talk about Seattle struggles against tight ends. New England they're in their own boat as well. They've struggled against tight ends a little bit. Go listen. And I know McDonald's the defensive mind. I know he's the defensive minded head coach, but he still runs the team. Listen to him talk about Barner and what he's done for that team this year. And of course, he's in meetings. He's talking to Kubiak. They know what's going on. They love Barner. I do think he goes for 25 plus receiving yards. Tight ends in the Super Bowl always seem to show up. So I do like Barner for 25 plus here. This play, I didn't want to overdo anything. When I'm looking at props, I didn't want to force things to you guys. So I just decided to give this out. And could it be a 49ers game where he only throws for not much? Yes. Seahawks on the money line, Sam Darnold 200 plus passing yards, minus 111. Went over this in 12 games during the regular season. Was good throwing the football. And even in some of those games, he only completed 15 to 18 passes. But as Jason said, he can hit the big throws. He can hit the big plays. And they have so many different options that can make plays down the field that we can steal 30 to 40 yards on one reception and feel really good about this number here. I think Seattle wins the game. I tailed them to a lot of different things yesterday at the casino just for today. I like them a lot here, and I like Darnold. I just think that New England might be able to take the run away. They've gotten healthier on the defensive line. If you cut down the stretch, they struggled against the run a little bit. A lot of that was because Williams was out, and they were dealing with some injuries. They're healthier now. I think they're going to try to make Sam Darnold beat them with his arm because you always have the double agent possibility with him. And if that's the case, teams have done it. We saw the Rams do it, and the Rams defense is not what New England's is, but the Rams, 346. Did not throw a pick. Meanwhile, if you go earlier in the year, he almost threw them out of that game in the second one and did throw them out of the game in the first one when he threw 4 picks. So I think they're going to try to make him beat him with his arm, and I think he'll have some success. Seahawks on the money line. Darnold 200 plus passing yards, minus 111.
Yeah, and overtime, look, I've given out a lot of plays on this game going back to 2 Mondays ago. So I will review some of those in overtime. Again, you can go back and look at previous shows, skim through them, rewatch the whole thing if you want to. But there's a lot of stuff I was on that we got value on that doesn't exist anymore, including a bunch of Sam Darnold and Drake May stuff. I'll review some of it in overtime. But for now, Habzeit! Welcome back from that scintillating commercial.
We should have had Bad Bunny. It's the Super Bowl. We should have had Bad Bunny do our Wanna Bet halftime show.
Hey, I do think, though, at some point in 2026, we're getting the Players Band.
We should have had them
doing the human version of our theme music.
Our first halftime Wanna Bet for Super Bowl. We should have had somebody ready to perform.
We should have. We had.
I didn't even think of that.
We dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah, we did.
We're already in the red, Beltway Ben. How? Yeah. I mean,
we could have got someone.
Wanna Bet's bleeding what's left of Locking for LLC dry. I don't know about having money, to go get somebody.
Yeah, but the Super Bowl, they don't charge. The Super Bowl doesn't pay people. It's an honor to
That's
they
true.
pay their it is so it should be
That's
an honor
true.
for WannaBet, I think.
To get somebody to perform for 4 seconds on WannaBet, because that's how long our halftime is, 4 seconds.
Send us
How
a quick
expensive
video.
could it be, even if we
Send
had
us
to
a
pay,
quick
right?
video of you performing a song, real quick, 5 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, there's always next year, Beltway Ben.
Yeah.
First, let's get your dad on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
We got to get Papa Hall on the 4th of July show. That might blow out a lot of our budget alone. Because this sounds like it's going to take some control.
Yeah.
And then whatever's left over, we'll put towards next year's 4-second halftime guest.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Maybe I could get one of my dogs in here with me for 4 seconds.
We should. I could have brought
Super Bowl next
both
year.
Kona and Lilo. That would have been a good idea.
Let's get them all together. Puppy ball. Third down. Look, my position has not changed on this game. I think Seattle has a chance to smash. My first instinct on this game was Seattle's the better offense, defense, special teams. I think it's the better tactician head coach who runs the most important side of the ball, defense, and he's got 2 weeks to prepare. He's more familiar with this stadium and the travel and everything, all the creature comforts, all of it sets up for me for Seattle. I think New England's going to have a hell of a time keeping Seattle under 27 points, and I think New England's going to have a hell of a time getting to 17 or above. So that's my baseline cap of this game. The best you're going to find Seattle laying 9.5 right now is plus 182 at FanDuel. I got it well over plus 200. I'm sorry I didn't give it out sooner, but it also hasn't lost as much value as, frankly, I thought it would. I think it has a chance to get sideways, and I think Seattle's defense, if New England's chasing the game, has a chance to really take advantage of a 22-year-old quarterback with a bad right shoulder. Look, could Sam Darnold be a double agent? Sure. That's what I'm concerned about. Could New England special teams create even more explosives than Seattle? They might. But I could also see this being 33-13, frankly. And I think you've got a battle-tested team in Seattle that played as tough of a regular season and playoff schedule possible. And I think they've been the best team in the NFL all year. And I think they will play that way. Maybe it's a little tight early, but I think they're going to create more explosive plays and more turnovers. And I like them to win by 10 points or more, Ben.
For me, listen, I kept finding myself getting here, so we're going to go there. Stephon Diggs over 43.5 receiving yards at minus 109. Only did this in 8 games this season, but he did finish at 43 once. And again, if we lose on the hook here, that would be brutal. But I think that they're going to get him the football a little bit in a spot where, as I said before, you're playing from behind. Stephon Diggs, one of the better receivers in the NFL years ago, and his time has passed, but he still had a fine year, right? 1,000+ receiving yards, top 16 in the NFL. And one thing we talk about with New England, they move the football around, right? It could be Booty's week. It could be Williams' week. It could be anybody in that offense's week catching the football. I think in this spot, the young quarterback relies on a vet receiver who has never been in this spot either, right? This is new for Stephon Diggs, but he's wanted to get there, and he's talked about it. And you have the pictures of him in Arrowhead sitting on the bench with the confetti falling on him because he's so distraught that he's not making a Super Bowl. I think he's going to be on his best today. I think he's going to show up pretty well. And we could get one explosive here with him, right? As good as Seattle's defense is, sometimes miscommunication happens, and you could have some explosive. Yep. And we could see Diggs have an explosive. We've seen it this year from him. And I know he's more of an underneath type of guy, but he still could make a big play. I like him over 43.5, and I know we're also on Henry. If they're truly playing from behind like it's expected, they're going to have to throw the football to somebody. And I think Henry and Diggs are the top 2 targets on this team. Maybe it's a little public play. A lot of people are on it, whatever. I don't care. I think Diggs goes over 43, and he hasn't been over it yet in the playoffs, but they haven't needed to. And Houston was the closest game, and for a little while that game was close. 4 catches for 40 yards. The other one, he had 5 for 17 against Denver. I throw that away because whatever the hell that was in the second half. And then he had 2 for 16 against the Chargers, where they sleptwalked through that game and didn't need to do much else because that Chargers offensive line is just so damn bad. So give me Diggs over 43.5 receiving yards, minus 109.
Excellent. 4th down, I got 2 plays. We'll start with the 4th and long, since Beltway Ben's got it up there, because it's a long shot, but I don't think it's impossible whatsoever. I'm on this guy a lot of different ways. You guys know that. And I really thought I was done betting on Shaheed. And then I kept looking at these markets, and I'm like, what's another $25, which is basically a standard unit for me. Shaheed to be the leading receiver in this game, you could find it at 25-1 at Fanatics right now. It's actually better than I played it. I played it at DraftKings a couple days ago at 2,200. It's now 1,900 at DraftKings, but as of the top of the hour, it was still 2,500 at Fanatics. I don't think he needs a lot of volume to get it. I also think if Seattle gets up as much as I think they will, that they really maybe just take the air out of the ball. And a young head coach in his first Super Bowl from the defensive side of the ball skews even more conservative. But I think Shaheed against Carlton Davis or whoever on the outside is going to be a problem. Sam Darnold doesn't need a lot of volume in terms of throws to hit explosive throws. The double move's going to be there. He gets under center. He sells play action under center. And then Shaheed hitting Carlton Davis with double moves. I think Kubiak and Sam Darnold lean into that 3 or 4 times. If a couple of them connect, that might be all we need. And then look, if it's a blowout, maybe somebody on the New England side just gets force-fed. And that's so be it. But 25-1, I think Shaheed could catch 4 or 5 balls in this game. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. And I do think several of them could be explosive. Fourth and weird, I'm not on Smith and Jigba a lot of ways. We did get on his longest reception as soon as these props percolated. We got it at 28.5 2 weeks ago. But I kept looking at this one in the player specials in DraftKings, and it hasn't really moved, which surprises me. Smith and Jigba, 4 or more receptions in each half, plus 350. You know he's going to show up in the early script, right? And look, Gonzalez is good. I don't think Gonzalez is I don't think he's Revis Island. I don't think he can shut Smith and Jigba down left slot, left boundary, right bound. I just don't think that's who he is. This guy gets his against everybody, and it's the Super Bowl. Like, he got him here. I think he shows up in the early game script, and even if they do have a lead, you trust throwing the ball to him as much as you trust throwing the ball to anybody in the league. Doesn't have to be explosives. He also catches the screens for, stretching the ball for a first down. He works the sidelines, high percentage sideline passes. This hasn't moved. I'm surprised it hasn't moved. I played it a few days ago. It hasn't lost any value. Plus 350 at DraftKings. Smith and Jigba, 4 more receptions in each half.
Yeah, I know you gave this out yesterday, and then I was just going through stuff for today, and I'm like, I'm kicking myself because I didn't tell it. So now I'm just going to give it out with you. Either team to convert a 4th down in their own territory
did lose a lot of value
at plus 116. Like, I guess maybe it's a tight game down the stretch, and there is a punt. Listen,
I love
regardless, if we don't get the blowout or the 2-score game that we're expecting, where a team has to go for it on 4th down their own territory. Mike McDonald spent time under John Harbaugh and has talked about him a lot. I am not a John Harbaugh guy. I've hated on John Harbaugh for a while. John Harbaugh is aggressive. He will do stuff in his own territory in big games that he needs to try to win the game. Mike McDonald doesn't call the offense, but he is the head coach. He does run that team, and he is perfectly fine being aggressive, and he's done it all year long if you look at what they've done on 4th downs. Now, New England on the other side, you have Vrabel. He'll be aggressive too. They're fine if it's a 4th and 1. These possessions are going to matter in this game, right? These drives are going to be crucial. If you have a 4th and 1 at the 43 or the 44 and you're telling me they're not going for it, now we're going to need them to convert. We're going to need them to get it. But I am comfortable taking this at plus money, plus 116. Jason gave it out yesterday at plus 116. When I saw it was still the same number, I was like, all right, I didn't lose too much. I know that Jason had talked about it yesterday, losing a bunch of value.
It was plus 60 when I played it earlier in the week. Yeah.
Right, which is unfortunate. But listen, I
should have given it out then. I didn't think that this was.
Yeah.
I thought the one that was going to move, would have been maybe the Smith and Jigba or something else. I didn't think this one was going to move.
Yeah, this way, it's kind of crazy. But again, listen. Hopefully, and even if it's a, touchdown game with a minute 30 left and New England has to go for it, it could happen. So I'm comfortable doing this here. Again, I don't know that we need a 4th quarter drive to get over this. It could be a 2nd quarter drive where they're at the 44. Yeah. Push it forward. And Barner, we know they love using him in the tush push, so we'll see how that works.
Overtime, just got a simple parlay here for you guys. Mac Hollins, 3 or more receptions, and Halani, 3 or more receptions, plus 600 at the Bet 365. okay, Walker's going to catch some balls, and I'm on that, and that concerns me a little bit. Like, but I mean, Halani's the guy who's replacing Charbonnet, who was a machine, who was in the 2-minute offense, catching a ton of high percentage passes. And look, against the Rams, Halani did this. I don't think he's there to run the ball, but and if it is a blowout, and they still need to move the ball, it doesn't have to be handoffs to him if Walker's out of the game. I could see him catching, frankly, 2 balls on a 2-minute drive at the end of the first half or something like that. And then Matt Collins, look, he's got a really good feel for zone defenses. He's a smart player. He's been around a long time. This quarterback trusts him. He's over this in 3 of the last 4 games. Even when he bobbles the ball, he seems to have a horseshoe up his ass because it still comes down in his hands. Like these little 7-yard seam routes, turn around, little curls, little hit him in the chest, high percentage stuff. Like McDonald's defense is fine giving that up all day long. So I think they're 2 a little bit under the radar guys who I think will get enough volume to get us here. The yardage, I preferred the receptions, but you never know.
Yeah, are you going to talk about? Do you want to talk about?
I was going to let you do overtime,
okay.
and then I thought we'd talk about a few other things.
Yeah. Cool. We'll do that. Yeah, and then also when we start talking about it, I know some people are asking for longest touchdown stuff. Again, these aren't official plays, but we'll give you thoughts on some of the comments. We'll get to that though.
Yeah.
After these. Overtime for me. Listen, a few simple parlays. You guys know I love my tight end parlays. I've done it all year. We're going to do it again here. Hunter Henry, 25 plus receiving yards. AJ Barner, 20 plus receiving yards, plus 109. We're bringing down Barner 5 yards. Again, talked about it earlier. I do like him to go over the regular number, 24.5 at minus 110. That's an official play for me. But here we'll just take him for 20 plus along with Hunter Henry. Both of these teams have struggled against tight ends a little bit. Hunter Henry, I talked about him time and time again on this show during the year. We've had some success with him betting, and he hasn't been able to get it going much lately. I do think this might be the spot that he gets it going. Again, it's another one. I know it's public. I'm fine with that, but we'll take him down. He doesn't need 40 that we're asking for. We just need the 25 plus. And I know last game he had pure brick hands, whatever that was. Give me 25 here today for him. 20 plus from Barner, plus 109. Another parlay.
Meaty, we're on that one.
Yeah.
Could be garbage time.
Yes.
Could be garbage time
Yes.
for old Hunter Henry.
Absolutely. Another one here, Seahawks money line. Hunter Henry, 3 plus receptions. Kenneth Walker, 2 plus receptions. And Stephon Diggs, 25 plus receiving yards, plus 195. Take Diggs down. We talked about Henry before. I like Seattle a lot. And Kenneth Walker, I know Jason was on him throughout the week. 2 plus receptions for him is like minus 400. So I've kind of thrown that in a few parlays as well. No Charbonnet's big. And I agree with Jason with Halani, but like Kenneth Walker still should catch a few checkdowns to make it easy for him. 2 plays. One is a full unit play and one's a half unit play. I did want to give some plus money out for regular plays. We're going to also play here. Once this updates, it's supposed to be AJ Barner. Yeah, there we go. AJ Barner, anytime touchdown, plus 250. This is a full unit play for me. I like AJ Barner to get in the end zone. They're inside the 1, push him in. They also can hit him on throws. Yep. We've had success playing Barner all season long. I tried to fight for him to get in the Hall of Fame after a one-day run. This would be the cement. If he could get us a Super Bowl touchdown, maybe I would have a little bit more, stuff to stand on here. So hopefully Barner can get us in plus 250. He catches at plus 500 when we took him the last time. But I talk about tight ends in the Super Bowl all the time. I do like him a lot here. I think at plus 2, like everybody's going to be on Walker, and I understand. I mean, he's scoring touchdowns with regularity with no Charbonnet, but I just feel like they might try to get one of the tight end. Now here's a half unit play. For me, Austin Hooper. Listen, talk about Henry, and I'm on Hunter Henry's yards a bunch. We're going to play at a half a unit, so let's get the Choppy. Where's Choppy?
Choppy's worse for wear.
Choppy, yeah. Choppy's here. Half a unit play.
Nice. That's a winning combo right there.
Sometimes to me, maybe I overthink things, but like everybody's going to be on Henry, as I am with the yards. I get that.
Yeah.
He's a tight end. They get him on the field a little bit. If they're in a run set, a little play pass, find the other tight end. I talk about tight ends in the Super Bowl. They find their way in the end zone. And if everybody's betting Henry, again, I'm not saying Vegas is rigging it, but like Hooper taking a touchdown away when nobody bets him would not shock me in the slightest. Just a half unit.
Yep.
Nothing too much. But at plus 850, I like the odds on the guy that's going to be on the field. If they're trying to go heavy, he will be out there. And he's caught a dozen of touchdowns in his career. This isn't a guy that has never seen the end zone, who's never played football. He was tight end 1 in Atlanta. He's been tight end 1 places. This isn't anything new for him. So And he's on the field a lot. I know that May doesn't target him a ton, but he's on the field enough. And of the value plays to find the end zone, that was the best one for me. This is the one I like the most. So give me Austin Hooper anytime touchdown plus 850, and you can put a half unit on it.
Excellent. All right, we're going to talk a few things over here. Look, a little review of some stuff I liked. I mean, I've got Seahawks money line tagged, all kinds of stuff. Seahawks money line tagged to New England under 23.5 points. Seahawks money line tagged to a Drake May interception. I like Seattle to have the most interceptions created, the defense to have the most interceptions. Seattle, we got it at plus 220. Like, I'm not saying Darnold won't throw one. He probably will. But, like, I think May might throw more than one. We like Shaheed. Of all the Shaheed bets we have, the one we might like the most is first to 40 receiving yards. Shaheed. I mean, we really like Seattle to have a play of 20 yards or more on the first drive. We think Kubiak's going to try some explosives in that early game script to check some of these matchups and send a message to New England a little bit. We love 2 touchdowns and 240 passing yards out of Sam Darnold. We love Drake May rushing. We've been on, like, you watch the show, 8 or more rushing attempts, 10 or more rushing attempts for May. We've been on that. Laddering May, 40, 50, 60 or more receiving yards. We like that. A lot of that value's gone now. If you haven't got into the May rushing markets at all, one thing that caught my attention today, May to be the leading rusher in this game, you can find at 6-1 or higher. I don't know that Seattle's running Walker into the ground. I think Seattle's going to like to throw the ball, and I don't know in this New England 3-headed monster that either Henderson or Stevenson are going to get explosives. And I mean, they might both be around 40 or 50. I think Drake May could run 12 times for 70 yards and a touchdown in this game. Another prop I've been looking at today, I feel like I have enough on May, but if I wanted to do one more, May rushing, May anytime touchdown, May passing touchdown, May interception, you could get it 8-1 at Bet 365. Maybe it's better somewhere else. I was looking at that at 365, but I think his legs will be a key part of this. I think Darnold's going to get his. Do I think Darnold could also throw for over 300 and 3 touchdowns? I absolutely do. If he's not crapping his pants early, you know how he gets in games. He settles down. If he doesn't have to dig out of a self-created hole early, I think live betting Darnold is probably going to interest me quite a bit. I mean, that's some of the stuff that stands out to me, and I've given out a lot on this game. Beltway, Ben, anything that you want to add? And then I guess people have some questions.
Yeah, just to go back to some stuff that I've got. Seahawks on the money line with Hunter Henry 40+ receiving, which we gave out the first day we could. Leonard Williams over a quarter of a sack. So if he gets a half a sack, we gave that out at plus 151. The odds are better elsewhere right now, so I lost a little bit of value, or gained a little bit of value, but I'm fine with still playing it. I think he gets to the quarterback. You have a guy that's gotten sacked 5 times in every game so far, and now you're going to play this ferocious front. Seattle has. We were on Hunter Henry both ways 2 days ago. And then we're also on Darnold to throw a pick combined with the Seahawks on the money line, which you get that going against each other money because you're taking one team to win, the same team's quarterback throw a pick. That gets us to plus 202. We did have a few questions. One, I'll start real quick with this. Dart, who did talk to us about the Nets game yesterday, said he had to do it. Sorry he had to do it, but he's doubling down on a Hawkes triple-double. Couldn't get it for Bam, but he's betting him for 8+ assists. I'll be honest with you. I am staying away today. I am not. Hawkes is interesting. I might bet it on my own. I'm not giving it out, though. It's an interesting name just because if the Wizards are getting destroyed late, Hawkes should still be on the court.
He'll be on the court a lot.
Yeah. So I might bet that a little bit on my own.
He can do a little bit of everything. He's an interesting player.
He is, definitely. And then a guy asked us who we have for the first touchdown, which I think you already gave out, and longest touchdown. Did you give out a first touchdown?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I don't have a set play for first touchdown. I mean, again, I could be totally off. My feel on Shaheed early in his tenure in Seattle was totally off. And then I laid out for a while. And then I started doing some things on my own, but not talking about it on the show. And then I don't know, man. I think Darnold is pushing the ball 30 yards or more downfield to Shaheed on the opening drive. Because he come down with it and score? Maybe. Does Carlton Davis get too handsy and it only results in a PI instead? Oh, I'm getting sick to my stomach thinking about it. But yeah, I mean that's gambling. Um, I don't have a lot of touchdown bets in this game because there's a part of me that also thinks this thing could end up being 21-7. Like I mean, it could be low scoring. Sam Darnold might not be up for this, and they're relying on their defense, and both teams are playing keep away. Um, so I don't have first touchdown. I mean, part of me thinks one of these quarterbacks craps the bed, and first touchdown is defense or special teams. Do you have strong feelings about this, Butway, Ben?
Just like first bucket. And I get it. There's like boosts out there, which is why I think some people want it and they're interested in the long hit. I never, ever play this stuff. I just don't. I don't play first bucket. And a lot of people have been telling me lately how much fun they're having. And I get it. But it's just so random and you have to get so lucky. You have to win a coin toss. You have to get a turnover. Like,
Yeah.
to me, there's just too much luck involved. I know that for the Super Bowl, which is a little different than regular season, you can do either. And I know it sounds boring, but like either Ramondre or Kenneth Walker to score a first touchdown at plus 250 sounds, and again, it's chalky. It's two running backs, whatever. Like that's cool.
Still a nice return.
If you want, I talk about Hooper. I talk about Barner. I talk about Henry. Like if you want some good value, I would take one of the tight ends. I think one of the tight ends is going to find the end zone at some point in this game, I think. Even though I do think the game's going to go under. But I think in the passing game, one of the tight ends will find the end zone. So one of those three guys interests me. But again, this is not an official play. This is not anything that I'm playing. I know that there's boosts. I know you guys want to play it. I know you like the value. But for me, I just hate it. I don't like, especially like the basketball ones. I mean, that is the sweatiest watch. You got a dude going to the basket. You think you're good. He blows a layup, and at the other end, someone gets a bucket. 5 different dudes. But for football, people do it a lot, and they parlay 8 different guys.
Yeah.
These sports books are telling you that people are cashing, not because they're losing money off of it, because they want you to bet
exactly.
it, and they're giving you these profit boosts because they want you to lose your money doing it. So,
yes,
again, I would do the tight ends, but I'm not going to be playing it.
Is that it?
Yeah, about it. I know I said the longest touchdown was another one. I know you like Shaheed. You talked about that.
Yeah, I mean,
For longest.
Yeah, I mean, Shaheed could also be a pitch play, and he takes 130 yards on the ground to the house.
Yeah, true. And around anything. Somebody commented Hunter Henry anytime touchdown. Yeah, I gave that out in overtime. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a slap in the face. I just think one of these tight ends, or no, not Henry. Sorry, I gave out Hooper. Henry feels like you want to take him, you could take him, but I took Hooper and Barner. I think at least one of the tight ends in this game, in my opinion, finds the end zone. Hopefully, it's Hooper because that would be the best value.
Excellent, Beltway Ben. Let the people see our ticket from yesterday. Again, bad. I've been good in college hoops. The Saturdays, where obviously there's like 150 games. Like I've got to scale back and self-scout and do some different things on Saturday. We did hit the money line parlay, but yeah, not a good day for me. Let's bounce back today. Beltway Ben had a much better night. And we're excited, obviously, about today. You can email us at any point, wannabetwithus@gmail.com. If you're watching, you could also listen while you drive to work on Spotify, Apple Podcast, whatever. 11 o'clock tomorrow, I guess, Beltway Ben, right?
Yep. 11 works for me.
11 o'clock tomorrow. And even Wednesday, we've got that thing at work, but that sounds like that meeting's over at 11, so maybe we'll just do it. We'll just do it at 11.
Yeah, I'm probably going to take
work.
my stuff in and do it there.
Right.
And then Friday,
plan on that.
Friday, I got an eye appointment, 9:40. Hopefully they give me more contacts, give me like 4 or whatever. So Friday I have one. I think we'll be good by 11.
Well, we could always do Thursday night too.
If we have to,
yeah. Okay, so we should be back at the normal time. We appreciate you guys tuning in as always. We want nothing more than to give you guys as many winning plays as possible. And hopefully we all have a great Super Bowl Sunday. You want to bet? We want to bet. Thank you for spending part of your Super Bowl Sunday with us.